ISP middle school parents. I wanted to take some time today to highlight a couple of important days we had this week that we called community days, and why we had these 2 days during the beginning of the school year was to really focus on our three main ideas for this year around well-being, learning, and belonging. So I want to give you some examples of how we're living this out in the middle school this year, especially over these 2 days on Tuesday and Wednesday through the three grade levels. So in regards to well-being, how we structured these days was really a focus on getting kids outdoors as much as possible, where they can be socially distanced, but also without masks to explore our surroundings. And also we use some of this time to meet with individual advisory groups to talk more about our systems and policies, talking more about how we keep each other safe, and giving kids an opportunity to ask questions when necessary. So we gave some time on both of these days for this breathing and thinking space, as well as opportunities for kids to explore our wonderful environment around our school. In this case, this is from grade 7, for example, of what we were doing. In regards to learning over these 2 days, we did use these 2 days to try to upskill students on technology, especially around their use of Canvas, as well as their use of iMovie, Google Slideshows, helping them set up their Gmail accounts to help manage emails and so forth. In this case, this was an activity we had students doing where they were looking for hidden Easter eggs on pages within Canvas. And I'll talk more about Canvas as well in the back to school parent evening, as that's been quite a major overhaul where there's a lot of information now that lives on Canvas for both students and parents. Additionally, we had one rotation in grade 7 that was Jeopardy, that was divided up by advisories, where we not only talked about Czech culture in some cases, but also a get to know you of ISP teachers, as well as highlighting some of the key units from our school year this year. So these are a couple of different ways that we, again, tried to continue. How do we upskill students in technology at the beginning of the year so they can have a successful year online? And finally, in regards to belonging, we again had kids in different groups, primarily by advisory, to really get to know each other well. Also for our teachers to spend some time with kids. We know that kids learn best when they feel comfortable around their peers and around their teachers. So we really tried to focus on these 2 days of providing different experiences for kids, both outdoors and indoors, to develop this sense of community in our middle school. So in this case, we had scavenger hunts outdoors in grade 7, where kids were looking for different things throughout our environment. And in this picture, we also had challenges indoors. In this case was a mannequin challenge that was quite popular online a year or two ago, in order for kids to use their creative talents in an indoor setting. So again, these are just a few examples of what we try to do with learning, belonging, and well-being over those 2 days. We eventually had kids with all this information and develop slideshows in Google Slides, where they had certain requirements in order to upskill themselves in this sphere as well. In this case, this was my advisory group putting together their slideshow from the week. Of course, socially distanced, as you see there. So we really believe that these 2 days was a great start to the year to help us build community as well as upskill in tech. And I hope this gives you a little bit more information as to how we're trying to hit our key focus for the year of learning, well-being, and belonging. Just a couple of important dates I wanted to let people know about that are upcoming for parents. The first is back to school evening, which will now be done by videos. These will be released to parents on September 2nd. You'll receive an email with Google Drive folders that you can open up and watch videos from your child's teachers, as well as videos from myself on middle school as a whole, and from Mr. Bogley around advisory and counseling. So these will be available on September 2nd, and you'll get more information in the upcoming days. The second event that I wanted to just bring up was our first middle school parent coffee that'll be done on Zoom on September 8th at 9 o'clock. I would really encourage you to come, where I can talk more in depth about what we're doing this year, as well as give you an opportunity to ask questions that I'm more than happy to answer. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and we look forward to seeing your kids again next week.